What's going on, YouTube, and welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy Kevin Forte. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Washington Capitals as they've had a really good start to this season, kind of surprising some people, including myself. We're going to talk about the Washington Capitals, why they're playing so well, some of the key factors. We're going to take a look at all of that today. So the Washington Capitals, what a start to this season, and it's really inspiring watching the Capitals play right now. They're finding ways to win in different ways, and we're seeing guys step up that you were really hoping to see step up. It's been really promising, really inspiring what we've seen from the Washington Capitals so far. So, looking at their record, let's go right into that. The Washington Capitals so far this season, 4-1 on the season. They have 8 points. They currently sit third in the Metropolitan Division. Now, here's the key stats to look at. So their goals for 18th in the league. That could definitely see some improvement, but we remember last year the Capitals struggled to score goals. I mean, it was kind of the Ovechkin show, and if Ovechkin didn't score, the Capitals don't score. That's kind of been the story for the Caps for a long time. But they've been getting contribution from other players. So as much as we'd like to see that goals for go up a little bit, it's not too bad. Goals against, tied with the Islanders, 6th in the league for goals against. Only 15 goals given up this season. That's not too bad. Look at their strength of schedule, 8th in the league. There's definitely things to look at for Washington here that are things to look at and say, this is a team that has potential to do well this year. Now, obviously, their record says something about that. And, you look at the controversy that this team has already had to go through. You're going to be without Nick Backstrom. He's going to probably retire, right, as we kind of know. Same thing with TJ Oshie. Both those guys kind of done. So that's been a lot for this team to overcome over the last couple of years. And then you find out earlier this month that, Matt Roy is out once again. He was out for the game against the Flyers, so he's kind of a day-to-day situation. We'll see how much longer he'll be out. The power play for this team has been abysmal, only clocking at 11%, which is one of the worst in the league. The average is 21%. And their penalty kill has been really good, 88%, and the average around the league is 78%. So that's something to be looking at, right? Like, this is a team that is pretty solid defensively, and we've seen that so far in the early goings of this season. John Carlson continues to lug a ton of minutes. He leads the team with pretty much 26 minutes per game in terms of average ice time. Jacob Chychrun has come in. He's played well. He's got 4 points in his first 5 games here with the Caps. He's got 2 goals already. And Tom Wilson leading the way for goals. He's already got 5 goals. He's got 5 goals in 5 games with the Caps. And we're going to talk more about that here because I think Tom Wilson becoming what we like to see from Tom Wilson is really something that is important for this Capitals team. We have to remember, right? Tom Wilson has always been the tough guy, laying big hits, doing things like that. But the fact that he's able to play the skill game a lot more, we're starting to see the addition, honestly, of Dylan McIlrath really paying off dividends for the Caps. McIlrath's been with the Hershey Bears for the last couple years. He's been the captain of the team down there in Hershey, won back-to-back Calder Cups with the Hershey Bears. He's a pretty good player, all things considered, right? And, he's worked his way back into the league. He's playing that tough guy role, and it allows Tom Wilson to score goals. When Tom Wilson was in Hershey, he was able to score goals. He did that a lot. And he was one of those guys that when he came up to Washington, you were kind of hoping, he's a bigger framed guy, but he's kind of a power forward that can score. And when he came up, it kind of just seemed like he kind of took on that role of the pest and kind of the patrol and the police for this Caps team. And I think that kind of hurt him. So now that he's going back more into his roots of scoring goals and doing the things he needs to do, it's alleviating some of the pressure off the guys that are new. Guys that we're seeing like Andrew Mangiapane and Pierre-Luc Dubois, who aren't really producing that much yet. It's allowing them to get going because everybody's busy talking about Tom Wilson. And even though we've seen Mangiapane, He's already got 2 goals here with the Caps. He's not playing terrible. I mean, he's got 3 points in 5 games, so it's not like he's terrible. But, we want to see this guy who's playing in the top 6 playing well throughout the season. And then obviously, PLD still held off the score sheet. He's got 2 assists. He doesn't have a goal yet. So nobody's really talking about Dubois' struggles right now because the Capitals are finding ways to win, and they're finding ways to get goals from guys like Wilson. And that's really where I wanted to go today. Now, obviously, you have to mention the goaltending because the goaltending has been kind of suspect. And if you told me that the Caps would be 4-1 through the first 5 games of the season, excuse me. Jesus, guys, sorry. If you told me that their goaltending, the save percentage, and the goals against average looked the way that it does right now, I would tell you, oh boy, it's going to be a rough year for the Caps. And they're finding ways to win, despite the goaltending not being at its best. And even with that, they aren't giving up. Like I said, they are top 10 in the league for goals against. They are not giving up that many goals against. So despite the goaltending not being great so far, if they limit a lot of the opportunities for the opponent, and I think having Chychrun and Karlsson as that shutdown pair is going to allow the Capitals to maybe fight off some of those goalie demons that we're probably going to see from Thompson. And Lindgren this year. So it's one of those things where looking at those 2 goalies, you know what you're getting from them. It's not elite by any tier. I would not expect them to be in the Vezina conversation, but we don't expect them to. I think for the Capitals right now, looking at those 2 guys in particular, you just want to see a little bit better from them. But other than that, when you look at their schedule and what they've done so far, like they're beating teams in their division, which is huge, but they're also beating teams that you're like, oh shit, that's a pretty good team that they just beat. And you look at their schedule so far, right? They beat the Devils, they lost to the Devils 5-3 on opening night. And then they followed that off here with 4 straight wins. And like I said, Vegas and Dallas, 2 teams that in the Western Conference could be in the Western Conference Finals in 2025. People think highly of both of those squads. Maybe a little bit less so Vegas, but Dallas, that's a good win. That's a quality win for the Capitals over the Dallas Stars. And then they follow that up going on the little road trip up the road to Jersey and Philly. 6-5 overtime win over the Devils. That's a big win because that's a divisional opponent. And same thing with that Flyers game. That game was 2-0 Caps at one point. The Flyers get a goal from Sanheim, make it 2-1. And what did the Capitals do? They responded, made it 3-1, and then a great goal late kind of sent this game, sent everybody in Philly home, making it 4-1 with 5 minutes left. And that's all she wrote. And that's when the Porky Pig, that's all, folks. That's it. That was it. The Capitals were able to put that game away enough where they are finding ways to not only win, but sort of comfortably in a game like that. Instead of letting the Flyers come back, maybe make it a 3-2 game and pull the goalie late, and let's see if we could get something here. The Capitals, put that all to bed. And were able to find a way to just get the job done. And that's what they did. Now, looking at their schedule here, the rest of the month, you play the Flyers again in a back-to-back, which you guys are going to see that, or you've already seen that, probably. Then they have to go down to Tampa, but then for the rest of the month, they're going to be home. Their next road trip where they play consecutive games on the road isn't going to be until the 3rd week of November. So this is a very good opportunity for the Capitals to really cement themselves in not only in the Eastern Conference, in the Metropolitan Division, beat teams like the Flyers. You have a good test against the Tampa Bay Lightning this weekend. And then they play teams like the Rangers, Habs, Blue Jackets, Carolina. Those are all teams in your division. Pittsburgh at the end of in the beginning of November. So this schedule is very favorable for the Washington Capitals. This is a good opportunity for them to really assert themselves going into really November 15th when they start that road trip in Colorado. we're going to reevaluate the Caps and see where they're at. Because right now, this is a great opportunity for the Capitals. They already got a really good start, going 4-1, and now the schedule where they play a ton of home games. You really want to build up those points early in the season if you're a team like the Capitals. Because if they're going to make the playoffs, they might be one of those teams that's maybe the Capitals are the team that's the surprise team in the Metro. And we see we end up seeing the Rangers, Hurricanes, and the Capitals getting those top 3 spots in the Metro. Again, very early. I'm just throwing it out there right now. But this is a situation where the Capitals, we always talk about how important that first couple, really going into American Thanksgiving, if the Capitals are in a playoff spot, they are golden. That is a really pretty spot to be at. And they are on their way to potentially doing that. If they're able to continue to get enough goal scoring, play really solid defense, really good penalty kill. If they could pick up the power play a little bit, I think that would really do wonders for them. Pierre-Luc Dubois and Mangiapane maybe getting on the board a little bit more, bringing the new guys in. And you got to see a little bit better goaltending. I think Lindgren and Thompson they're capable of more than what they've shown us. Maybe not a ton more, but they're more capable than what we've seen so far. And the Capitals are still finding ways to win despite some of those things not going their way. So I really like what I've seen from them so far. I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Are you impressed? Are you on the hype train? Do you believe in this Capitals team, or do you think this is a team that's probably going to fall off? And, maybe, some of the teams they've played so far aren't something you're really taking seriously. I mean, that Dallas game really stands out to me because the Dallas Stars are really good this year so far. So I consider that like a really quality win, and that's what I really am separating between them being, it's just a good start. The difference between, it's a good start to, wow, this looks like a pretty solid team, is that Dallas Stars game. So, again, we're only 5 or 6 games into the season. We'll see how the rest of the way goes for the Caps. But I like what I've seen so far. Guys, let me know what you like let me know what you think down below. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you again next time. Peace.